What is up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie Tati, and this is another Talking with Tati. So today we're going to be talking about Jhene Aiko and Big Sean. Yes, this is a pop culture topic, but I feel like it's also an evergreen topic at the same time because I think there's a lot of lessons in the dynamic that we're seeing unfold right in front of our eyes. So basically, Big Sean and Jhene Aiko have been together for 10 years now, and apparently they have been separated for a little bit. They just didn't, I guess, share it with the public. And you know how it is. Sometimes people will go and be together, not be together, but still be together kind of thing. I feel like that's kind of what they've been doing off and on for the last 10 years because there's been moments where they would unfollow each other, follow each other back, and make music about being broken up and then come back together on the same song and talk about how, they do what they do. And I feel like this is a very sad case of basically putting your future in someone else's hands and allowing them to kind of take away your choice. I think this is a instance of on one hand I feel bad for Jhene, but at the same time I think that it kind of takes two in order to allow somebody to waste your time because we always have free will. And I understand that once they had a kid, she probably was fighting for it a little bit more because she wanted to have that family and she had that vision. So I feel like before the kid, maybe she's just more we'll see if, it goes where I want it to go. And she probably was more willing to walk away prior to having a kid. And then after having the kid, first of all, it's easier to be a family dynamic because you need another person when you have a newborn. Let's just be real. And both of them are so busy entertainers and doing things like that. I can only imagine that, yeah, her first priority probably wasn't to leave and, go and find another partner. But now that the kid is probably getting a little bit bigger and able to do a little bit more, I think it probably was just that time to just be like, you know what? We got to call a spade, and it's time to move on. I never really enjoyed seeing Big Sean talk about their relationship, and I always kind of had a feeling that they were never going to get married because you know how some people would just always have a reason why something can't happen, oh yeah, I can't do this, we just have more problems to work out, and there's things that need to be worked on before we get married. And I understand that, and I could totally understand why somebody wouldn't want to go and sign papers when they feel like maybe their relationship is flimsy. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. Even though they were a public couple, I feel like their problems were still pretty private. So I don't know what it was about their relationship that made him specifically feel like they couldn't make it. But I feel like at the end of the day, after 10 years, y'all basically were married. So if somebody is refusing to make the next step or make a deeper connection and you guys are basically already doing the thing, then I feel like it's just time to go. And I understand that accidents happen and things like that. And I'm not even going to say that their child is an accident because like I said, I do not know. But I feel like having a child was the worst mistake that she could have done in this situation because it's just I feel like she probably thought that was going to make him want to stay and want to work things out and want to get married so that they can have that family dynamic. But it just seems like he was dead set on not marrying her. Every single time he was asked about it, he was so hesitant. He never really he never had a smile on his face when it came to it. It's not like he was looking like he wanted to do it and take that step. He just was never trying to do that. And I didn't even know this, but I found out a couple of days ago that he had an ex that passed away. She drowned, but he had proposed to her within a month or something, or a few weeks. So that just goes to show you right there. If I was Jhene, I would be like, okay, this man is not about to do what I want him to do. We're not going to be married. We're not going to be a family, and I would have to move on. But I always understand that it's so much easier to say what you would do in somebody's shoes than to actually do it because it's hard to walk away from somebody that you care about. It's hard to give up hope. If you feel like things are going good and in your eyes you can see the vision, but you feel like the other person might just need some more time and you're just trying to work it out, but it never comes to a resolve. It just sucks. On one hand, I feel like, yes, he did waste her time because I think that in his heart of hearts, he kind of knew that he was never going to propose because I feel like men know. People always say that men know whether they want to marry somebody within the first yada, yada, yada. And by 10 years, sir, you definitely know. And I feel like he could have definitely broke it off a lot sooner. But I think that people are selfish and, it's hard on both ends. Just because he didn't want to get married doesn't mean that he probably didn't want to be with her. That's not what that meant. Maybe he just didn't want to get married and sign the papers and all that and go through all of the legalities. But I believe that he genuinely did love her. I mean, who spends 10 years with somebody that they don't love? But then again, we hear every single day on this app, on TikTok and everything else, people sharing their stories, both men and women alike, of hating the person that they're with. So I don't know the situation, but all this to say, always take the power into your hands. And no matter how hard it is, if somebody is not willing to give you the future that you want, and you feel like you want a particular thing, this goes for kids, marriage, all that, you have to be able to put your foot down and be like, all right, well, if this is not what you want, I'm going to have to walk away. Walking away is so powerful because it gives that other person the choice to either continue to let you walk away and to let you get what you actually want out of life, or to sit with themselves and be like, ask questions like, why am I not making this step, and see if it's a stupid reason or not, and be like, well, actually, if this is what this person wants, I'd rather do this than to let them walk away and lose them forever. You know what I'm saying? You have to be, the power of walking away is everything, and never let any circumstance or anybody take that away from you. The moment that somebody knows that you're not going anywhere and that you'll just keep going along with their program regardless of how you feel about it, is the moment that you have lost all control and all value in the situation, because the person is just like, well, they're going to be here regardless. Yeah, they might complain about it. Yeah, they might get on my nerves every now and then asking me about it, but they're still going to be here. And then you end up in a situation like this where your time is wasted. I remember and then it's like, I hate saying wasted, because at the same time I feel like there's no real such thing as like wasted time, because in a sense I feel like we get everything that we need in life. So sometimes, even as sucky as it is, like, maybe you needed something out of that 10-year relationship. Maybe that is what she learned out of that relationship, is to put her foot down and to, have more assertive boundaries and to walk away from things faster. Maybe that is the lesson, and it's not up to any of us to judge her for doing anything that she's done, how she done it, and same thing for Big Sean, honestly. But it's just like, it's a good conversation to have, because I feel like this is a relatable topic for a lot of people. I remember when I was in high school, I had a older woman that I was friends with, and she was in a similar situation where she had been with this guy, and she also had a child for over 10 years plus, and she wanted to get married, and she would be so sad about it. I remember watching her cry about how she wanted to get married and he would never do it, and guess what? He never did. But when I looked her up, now she's moved on. She's in a new healthy relationship, and I don't know if she's married or not, but it's just like, yeah, leave that behind. You know what I'm saying? Don't let somebody eat up 10, 12 years of your life because you're scared of the unknown. Sometimes the unknown is the best thing that can happen to you, and sometimes just getting a little distance from a situation will allow you to see that it wasn't that great to begin with. Because if somebody doesn't care about what you want in a situation, then how can it be healthy? Like, you know what I'm saying? If something means so much to you, and the person that you are dedicating your life to doesn't see it as a factor and doesn't want to, appease you in any kind of way, or come to any sort of resolve or any kind of compromise, then is that really the person for you? Is that really what you want? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to let go. Sometimes good can be the enemy of great, and if you hold on to it too long, then you end up feeling bitter, and then you do end up feeling like you wasted your own time because you stayed when you could have left, when you had the free will to get up and go. So don't let that be you ever, in any situation, whether it's a job or a relationship. Get up and go. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you can't change, if it's something that you can't take, change it. All right, we're gonna pull a card. Forgive yourself. I need to forgive myself before I begin to heal. Reminder, my mistakes do not define me. Practice. Accept some decisions were out of your control, and you need to move on from feeling guilty and forgive yourself. Yeah, so if this was ever you and you ever spent a little bit too much time in a place, it's okay. It's so human. Forgive yourself. Move on. It's okay. Life will go on, and love is always available at any age. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Okay, make sure you guys follow me everywhere at Oh Your Name is Tati, and also at It's the Tati Show. We debut this upcoming Tuesday, and I would love to see you guys over there on that channel as well. Love you guys so, so much. Have a beautiful day. Wishing you so much abundance, love, and success. Okay? Besos. Bye. See you later.